Hello there, and welcome back to another Saturday. And as promised last week, today we will be building Ahsoka Tano's Duel on Peridea. This set's a year old. I can't believe that I'm picking this up and building this a year later. First off, live with all of yous, welcome. I will wait for a few of yous to funnel in before we actually crack open the box. But also, I don't know why I didn't pick this set up when it first came out. I did with the Tantive because the Tantive was just so cool a set. Hello there, George, and I see you back in the chat. And this set is an absolute goldmine of minifigures. Now, some of you that have been around for a few weeks might be asking yourself, well, how are you going to see it? How are you going to see me build it when you're on a typical video viewer? You know, how you normally see the videos. And that is because today we have a brand new setup. I'm so excited to be going further with these live streams. Remember, we started off not too different from this with a little cheap webcam on the desk trying to show you some close-ups. And today I'm very happy to announce a brand new desk cam. Look at that. We are moving up in the world. I'm not going to back up off cam, but first off, how dark does the room seem on camera? It's a lot brighter in person, but now you can see in a lot more detail, in a lot more depth, all of the different angles of the Lego. And not only do we have this set here, you can see just below me, we have a Filoni Clones custom minifigure. That's right. They're selling Enoch. Enoch would have been a great minifigure to include in place of this little trooper here. And then we could have got a Night Troopers battle pack, which we are rumored to get later on this year, so I'm going to keep my eyes out for that. But we do have Enoch right here in person, and we'll be taking a look at them alongside Sabine Wren with the figures later on in today's stream, because these are really, I guess you could argue the three mothers that grant Elsbeth the power of the sword. I tell you what, that ain't half a bad promo to give away for May 4th, especially if we are getting a Night Trooper battle pack. I don't think we are getting it for May. I think the rumor is later on this year. Hello there, CT Productions. Hello there, Gonk Rex, and hello there to all of you watching this wherever you are. Hopefully this is a bit more seamless. And before we get into it, we actually have a resub from a member over on YouTube, Alexander Kazimierski. I hope I didn't butcher that too much, but that's right. We have alerts on too. So if you are considering subscribing, we have some new subscribers, John Pletcher and Christopher Erlandson. Shout out to both of you that have subbed within the last 24 hours. And if you are looking to sub, donate, or join the membership, members get access to the Discord, a few exclusive videos, which let's bring back the full camera for just a second. Members this month are getting access to 4 exclusive, I guess, first looks at Lego hauls here. 3 Lego hauls and a Star Wars haul here in March. The first 2 videos, the first video is out. The second video should be out later today or likely tomorrow. The third video should be out by the end of the week. And then there's a 4th video. Honestly, don't know when it's out. Probably a week after the next weekend. But there is 4 exclusive. The first one was an exclusive first look at last week's stream. The other 3 are purely going to be exclusive only for members, because members are the reason I'm able to buy so much of the stuff I am. So shout out to all you guys. Don't forget, you also get your name on the members board. It would be really cool if someone joins on stream and I'm able to print them a named members tile, and then live on camera, completely unscripted, completely unplanned, add their name to the members board. So keep an eye out. If you are looking to become a member, live streams are the time to do it. You get to watch your tile be made. And I've also realized that I've got my mic arm over, there we go, mic arm over the chat. Let's clear that. Gonk Rex, I'm afraid you can't make people do what they don't want to do, but I do hear Lego is the greatest form of therapy. So it's 7:02, we're running late. Let's get this box open with a nice juicy thumb tabs. And genuinely, these streams are now named Lego Star Wars Therapy, as you can see, because we don't just have to be talking about Lego. It doesn't have to just be about Star Wars, though. We've got some leaks to get into later on. If anyone wants to open that in chat, there are a few really, really juicy leaks for both Lego Star Wars and Lego Lord of the Rings. So, start talking about those in chat. But it looks like the set we've got here is 3 bags, which is quite nicely. I think I'll try and keep this box in semi-decent condition. there's nowhere really to put that. And we're going old school today. We've got the paper instructions, as you can see on the desk. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to use any of the electronic instructions for this. I think I will go properly old school, get the best experience. And that sticker sheet ain't actually looking too bad. On the box, you can see the 4 pillars are all stickered on one side, and on the other side, we've got one bar running up the top, and then we've also got a few stickers around the base. So it did look really bad, and considering this sticker sheet is as big as the one that comes with the Ghost, it's probably as big as the Razor Crest. I think there were a few, maybe the Razor Crest was even smaller than this, but I must say that's not too bad. And if anyone wants to try and beat me to scan in that QR code, feel free, have at it. You can zoom into like 8 times on mobile phones. George's membership currently won't let them pay. Trying to fix it. Tried everything. Hopefully be back as a member soon as possible. I think you want it, yeah, the 4th member tile just up here in blue. Trying to color them as we go, but no worries about it. Honestly, I don't think recently there's been too many instructions up. I'm a little behind. I'm working on instructions for the Red Hulk, for the Venator as well. I am going to upload some paper instructions for those of you that want to build it a little nicer than trying to follow on that video. And there's a few other improvements as well I've made to the Acclimator when turning it into a Venator. And tomorrow's video, which after this stream I might make early access to members as well. I tell you what, I won't do it now. I'll do it after this stream. I'll make it early access for members, so you can watch that a little bit early. But first off, let's get bag 1 open, and this is my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th Ahsoka minifigure, 4th Ahsoka minifigure. I've got a Clone Wars Ahsoka, which is the one with without the diamond in the middle and not the tube top one. I think there's like 3 or 4 different variants now we've seen in Clone Wars. There's 2 of them. Then we got Tales of the Jedi, which was like a mesh of the 2. And then we got the flashback in Ahsoka. There's 4 different Clone Wars outfits. I have one of those and we'll be picking one up in the Yeeter, which is why I think there's the other gap there. And this is my 3rd adult Ahsoka, I guess. We've got, let me bring them out and show you whilst we've got the camera up. We've got the one that came out in the T16 and was available in the Advent calendar, which you probably all know. It's a pretty decent minifigure. Really like the arms on this. No, I also have Clone Wars Season 7. There's 5 different Clone Wars Ahsokas. We don't have the Snowcoat. We also don't have it's like a mechanic one from Season 7. But I've got this grey one here, and then I also have this custom white one. I've done enough videos on the channel. I've actually nabbed the arms for Commander Cody, so we don't even have the dual molded arms. And I'm surprised with both of these minifigures. Let's build the new one, but I'm surprised with both of these minifigures that we haven't got dual molded arms as well as printed pieces, because the bottoms of the arms are grey to white. Now, what colour would they dual mold it? Would they go, yeah, they'd definitely go with grey. Maybe white. I guess the problem would be there's mostly grey, or mostly like a metallic, some sort of gauntlets on the arms. And if they go with grey, then the white doesn't come through as much. But if they go with white, I don't think the arms look too good. And this is a dark bluish grey costume with light bluish grey legs. I guess there's a load of light bluish grey accents. This is dark bluish grey, just like the other Ahsoka minifigure. Is it not? Are they not both? The old Ahsoka, so the previous Ahsoka, is gunmetal grey compared to dark bluish grey with light bluish grey legs, which do match up to the Moonlight ones in my custom. Don't think the head and the hairpiece is anything new. Seems to be the same from the old Ahsoka. Might as well keep them both. Save going back and forth. Got Grex, I'm with you. Really want the new Arc 170. It looks so good. And I also want to try and make that into like an X-Wing and a few other ships, because I really do think the Arc 170 is one of the best models to buy if you want an X-Wing, an E-Wing. There's probably a few other similar X-Wing builds as well. But it seems the head piece is identical, very different to the Clone Wars one. They've even updated the printing. Thank you, Lego. You didn't need to do that. You didn't need to have these printed arms because I'm sure I'd be picking up Firestar toys not too long. But it does seem in most parts to be, no, it's a completely updated minifigure. The head is identical. And let's try and remember which headpiece come off which of the minifigures. But the headpiece is the only thing identical. Even the torsos, complete redesign from the ground up. And the legs as well. I thought they'd just reuse the legs and recolor them. No, Lego have gone out of their way to add some nice detail to these minifigures. So straight away, Ahsoka, a nice minifigure, and in this set, we are finally getting what we've been asking for so long. Where are the blades? Am I missing? No, I can't be missing the blades. If you can see them on screen, if you focus on where they are on the screen, I will try. I can't see them though. Maybe it's because they're translucent. They might be in one of the plastic bags. How much does the membership cost? Oh, good question. I'm not entirely sure. I think it's £2 for the first tier and then an extra pound or so. It's the cheapest I can say for the first tier, and then for the second tier, it's a little bit more. That does get you access to all instructions, which are now also on my website, mastermoldy-shop.fourthwall.com. I will have that be able to pop up in chat and little bits like that as well. Polaration Motion, hello there. Don't think I welcomed you to the stream. But yeah, the membership is a couple of quid, and that just goes towards buying these newer sets, and you also get the instructions for absolutely no extra cost at the higher tier, which I think is a nice added bonus. Now, these blades here, I think I have some older ones, but I wonder if these clear blades are frosted. I don't know if anyone else knows. There you go. First tier is 99p, not even a pound. That is an absolute great deal. That gets you access to any members only community posts. There are a few of those, just bonus images from behind the scenes. We've also got the videos, which, like I said, this month there are 4 really big main ones going over 4 different March hauls that I'm getting this month, because for those of you, again, that aren't aware, we're buying Lego in January, skipping February, buying March, skipping in April, buying in May, and you can see how that will go the rest of the year. The big problem is with those Lego Star Wars June releases. Are we going to be able to sacrifice June 1st releases unless we find some early? Maybe that's how we go. Maybe we try and find the June sets a little bit early here, but I'm wondering if these blades are actually frosted. We might have to see if we can get some light to test that, but they do look a little bit frosted at an angle. I don't know if the camera picks that up. They do look a little frosted, so they might be a brand new element, unless these have also been used elsewhere. I have to see what Bricklink, Brickowl, and Brickset say about this being a new element. Built the 2009 Count Dooku Solar Sailor with their own pieces. We need a Count Dooku. I've recently built, you've all seen it, the Count Dooku Duel on Geonosis here, and I have my own little mock-up of Count Dooku, but we need a brand new Count Dooku minifigure. It's such an iconic character, and I really think this year being the anniversary of Revenge of the Sith, perhaps that could be the May 4th promo. We've got a gift with purchase, for those of you that aren't aware, 190 pieces. I think that's like 5 less, or it might be 5 more than Aunt Brew and the Lars Family Kitchen, which was a pretty good promo. However, this year's is coming with 3, that's right, 3 Lego Star Wars official minifigures. So we could get Palpatine on Palpatine's little throne, which is a really nice nod to the original trilogy. We could also get Dooku and Anakin in the same set. Or perhaps because we've got Anakin already, they could throw in, Dooku and Kenobi. It'd be an odd choice, maybe Dooku and a B2. But usually these minifigures are somewhat exclusive. So it'd be nice if we did get Anakin, if they came with a gauntlet on the arm, like the black glove that Anakin usually wears. I think that would be really cool to get an exclusive part of a minifigure, and the rest of Anakin just being the same as the Ahsoka Eater. Because Lego have so many minifigures they're putting out. Little bits like that, the bonus arm printing. We see it on Ahsoka. You'll see towards the end of this stream, we'll take a look at some new Lego sets. And dual molded legs, leg printing, side of the leg printing. Hello there, Daniel. Side of the leg printing, arm printing is very, very common in Lego sets nowadays, at least very, very common to what it's been like over the last couple of years. And that feels amazing. The fact that we've just got an Ahsoka in this set that comes with 2 printed arms. I think Thrawn in here, not to spoil it too much, Thrawn's dual molded legs. There might be a few other really cool minifigures. We wouldn't have got this years ago. So it is nice that Lego is moving forward with their brand new sets. And yes, the U-Wing. The U-Wing. I really like the U-Wing. It's got to be said. We will be taking a look at the U-Wing, the Shire. I don't know how many of you have seen that today. Lego unofficially announced. And it was straight from Lego's mouth. We got an image and everything. I did a little short on it earlier, but we will be taking a look at leaks once we've got this set built. Talk a little bit about it. You know, we're not going to skip into the leaks too soon, but we will be taking a look at the leaks at the end of this stream, because the U-Wing is a set that I think the reason it's got a load of mixed reviews is the same when Anakin got his Eater a while back. That was quite a while back, but when Anakin got his Eater, it was still fairly recent enough that people had the one from like 5+ years ago, very similar to the second Death Star playset. I think that came out pretty close to when the first one did, and other little bits like that. And I think this is that exactly. Again, guess how old you are. 7th grade. Guess how old 7th grade is. Well, 7th grade, year 7 over here in the UK would be, I'm going to be honest, I don't even know what year 7 would be. Year 7 would be what, 11? The 7th grade, I think, is it above that? I'm going to say older than that. So 13 or so. I'm not really sure. I don't think YouTube exactly knows what ages are allowed on certain things either, so who knows. But the Andor U-Wing, it's recent enough to the Rogue One U-Wing that I think a load of people still have that set, and it is a really good set. It's a little bigger, it's a little more expensive as well. It did come with 1 minifigure, but this is proportionately scaled down really, really well with the 11 to 12. Oh, there we go. I was bang on with year, well, kind of bang on. I wasn't exactly sure of myself, but I was slightly there with year 7 over here in the UK. But the U-Wing's recent enough that a load of people still have that set, and it's still a very fond place in people's hearts. I'm hoping I'm going to have to do this and not flip this the other way around. I realise I've just started building again. That's the only problem with Lego sets. Once I'm talking, I'm just adding bricks to it and not really knowing where we're going. All right, 1/6. But the U-Wing is so recent that, yeah, something that you couldn't believe would come out again, because we got it for Rogue One, and it must play a really big part for it to be one of, maybe the only, maybe one of a few sets that we're getting from Andor. The first one was a little prisoner ship or something, wasn't it, that come with Luthen and a speeder bike, which is fair enough. Nice of them to include that in. I definitely think for Andor Season 1, Lego should have gone with Luthen's ship. I get it, it's a grey blob. That's basically what Lego put out anyway. But they put out one of those police ships, which didn't feel like it played to... It definitely played more of a role than I remember it playing. It's not a memorable ship. But yeah, I think the U-Wing returning has to play quite a big role in Andor Season 2. For them not to have gone with something like the TIE Avenger, which I will be improving here on the channel over the next couple of days. So it'll be interesting to see the role it plays, but I was expecting a few more leaks from the Lego set as well. Normally they give out a little bit more information about the actual show they're from. We just got a look at, I think, what's the female ISB officer? I forget her name, but we got a look at her in minifigure form. We also got one of those troopers, which initially I thought were going to be rebels in disguise. Well, turns out that's not the case, because, well, they were included as the enemy. So I very much doubt they're going to turn out to be the good guy. Really nice pieces here. I got a few of these from the little hexagonal Dead Ramiro. Shout out to Daniel for reminding me about that. Reminding me, like I knew it wasn't up there. We got a few of these for a World Play Day a few years back, and I've never used them. So them being in this set. I think they came in a few promos like the ballerina and stuff like that, but never ended up picking them up. But yes, we get Dead Ramiro in the set. We also get one of the Imperials, which I'm sure when we get an official Lego page, will probably have some sort of name or at least rank or something pop up. We also then get Andor and K2, I do believe. Again, not named, fighting alongside Andor. Andor must somehow... Oh, what if Andor manages to steal a lot of the Rebel ships, by the way, for those of you that aren't aware, are stolen Imperial ships. So they're a lot of rundown ships that the Imperials are trying to destroy for the most part to try and stop them getting into the hands of the rebellion. And that's why they're not in the best condition, and there's a lot of different colors and different shapes, sizes, the lot compared to the more uniform TIE fighters that the Imperials fly. And what if Andor ends up stealing the U-Wing that they then pilot throughout Rogue One for the big part at the end? So it's cementing Andor all that much more into the rebellion. And I think that could be really, really cool. I wonder if this connection here that pops off is going to be able to be removed later on or not. What if there's a set for 1 to 6 sets for every Star Wars movie from OG to prequel? So 1 to 6 we would probably get. I tell you what, I could see Lego doing something like this, maybe even, I don't think 1 to 9. I don't think we're getting any sequel trilogy sets. And honestly, there doesn't seem to be any complaints from sequel trilogy fans. There are other content. They're still making the odd Black Series figure and stuff like that. So I think everyone's all right with it. But 1 to 6, Phantom Menace, I would love to get an MTT from Phantom Menace. I think that's popular opinion, if ever on this channel, that an MTT would be really, really cool to get from Phantom Menace. A massive UCS MTT, not just a playset scale one, because we have got a playset scale before. A massive UCS scale MTT would be amazing from Phantom Menace, that is. So we've also got Attack of the Clones. Attack of the Clones, we've recently got a UCS gunship, so I don't see Lego making a playset scale of that. Oh, we've got our first stickers of the lot. We've got stickers 1, 2. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these 2 are identical, and then the other 4 are different. I wonder if that lines up to the show. And then we just got 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 8, 8, 8, 8. So this could be pretty easy, pretty straightforward to do. You've just got to line them up nicely. And for those of you that aren't aware, you can grab your brick separator just like so and line the sticker up without having to touch it for the most part. And look how quickly that was stuck on. And I'm not going to show you up close so you can see the millimeters away from one side that I am too much. But from a distance, that's pretty much perfect, or at least as close to perfect as we're going to get. Where are these going? Just up here. But definitely Chancellor Palpatine's Rescue is going to be an 18+ set that has Obi-Wan, Anakin, Palpatine, and Count Dooku. That I'd be down for. That's the Revenge of the Sith set. Cheers for that. And I don't think we would get a gun. I tell you what, that would be really, really cool to get Palpatine's Rescue, because we'd be getting a Dooku, very much well-needed minifigure. Anakin would likely be a reuse, even though I feel like they'd probably go with a black torso over a brown that we've got in the recent Eater. Anakin would definitely be a reuse. Kenobi would probably be in another set as well. Palpatine, an exclusive minifigure to that set, making loads of people pick it up, even if they have a Dooku, Anakin, and Kenobi. And I tell you what, after that whole Qui-Gon thing, I don't know how many of you should be exactly when Revenge of the Sith come out. Is Revenge of the Sith the 22nd of May, or have I plucked that from thin air? Because something comes out something Star Wars came out the 22nd of May. I had it penned down, but I never put down what it was, so I have no idea. But yes, definitely on Revenge of the Sith's anniversary, similar to how for Bilbo's birthday, Lego were releasing the Shire. At least that's what it said on the event page. Bilbo's birthday is September the 22nd, and that was a quick Google search. That's not Google AI. We don't like Google AI. It's not very helpful when it comes to Lego facts. It just takes the most popular post and takes that for verbatim. But on the fan page, 22nd of September is Bilbo's birthday. So I think they're releasing it for. I know Lord of the Rings Day is the same as Bilbo's birthday and Frodo's birthday. There's another day in April. I can't quite. Maybe it's Tolkien's birthday they're releasing it for. I think there's a signing event that was they had details about a signing event, which is how the set got leaked. And I think the signing event, I checked out the page before they got taken it down, May 19th. Oh, it might have been around that. 22nd might have been one of the other prequels, to be fair. But with the Hobbit set, yeah, there's a signing around the 5th of April, I do believe. So it might be on that. But yes, May 19th, 100%. New Hope was released on the 25th. Oh, it's lining up to be one of the original trilogies if they were late. It could be any of them, to be fair. But thanks for searching for that. What we could have from Attack of the Clones could be not a gunship. I'm trying to think whether we do get the giant balls that are also in Phantom Menace, but that come crashing down, and we could get a few just clones and droids that fit on the inside. I think that's quite a cheap answer. But I'm not quite sure we get Attack of the Clones. There's so much that I've built, it being, again, my favourite of the Star Wars saga. It's not something I can say lightly. I don't know what else we could get from Attack of the Clones. What would you all want from Attack of the Clones, Phantom Menace, Revenge of the Sith? We've seen Chancellor Palpatine's rescue. Easy pick for Revenge of the Sith. Arguably, the MTT would be the same. If you like your battle droids... Right, let's see how much of this we've done right. If you like your battle droids, an MTT is an easy pickup for sure, especially if they come with actually a few battle droids rather than do it. Well, I don't know. Would you want a load of battle droids and slightly Pentraki Arena, the UCS Geonosis Arena? There you go. That's a good one. It relates to it. We could get the arena with the 3 beasts that are in it, all brick built. That would be cool. And yeah, would you want battle droids in the set and the set being slightly more expensive, or would you rather have like the UCS 8080 a battle pack and then be able to pick up as many of them? Because if they're released in the set in a large quantity, Lego aren't going to release a battle pack. They're going to want you to pick up that set, so it's just going to be, we could wish for enough droids to fill it, but are we going to want more? Would we rather have a battle pack that comes with, a speeder, or maybe Lego sell the droid carrier, which I have the one I was sent down here from Les DIY here, which is slightly bigger than the Lego version, fits 14 droids each side, 28 droids total, and then a few up the front. This would be quite cool if they shrunk it down, perhaps even got rid of this back section, which I think pulls out somehow. It's been a while since I took a look at this set, but I'm pretty sure this... Okay, it might not pop off. I thought it popped off. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's just the middle. But something like this, but the older Lego version that just had the space on the back for the droids to stand, we could get something like this as a battle pack to go with the giant MTT with a ton. Even Invasion on Naboo themed, rather than just the droids, we could get like a Naboo security officer or something like that as well with it, because it'd have to be some sort of battle pack, would have to have some sort of opposition to fight against, and I see that going down pretty well. I mean, that's just because I like the set, and I'd probably be lining up to buy it with the gift with purchase, but I do think an MTT could be quite nice for how few droids it feels like we're getting. The May 4th droid carrier fits 8 droids, but can fit more at the front. Yeah, I do like the little front section that we can fit, a few extra droids here and there. I think it fit in 8. If I remember the old Gungan one that I had that came with a warrior and Jar Jar, it fit, I don't know if it fit 8 or how many it fit, but I do know if you got rid of the blasters, you could fit double the droids. So I wonder if there were some jumpers with blasters that could be removed, and if I built it myself, and I honestly don't remember how many I fit, but I'm pretty sure you could fit about 16 of them, which is still half of the Les DIY, which is still a really, really cool set. Not official Lego pieces, but if you could build that with official Lego pieces, that would hold up as a proper Lego set. Only 2 of them? Did I miss? Have I? Oh, There we go. I thought I misplaced a piece already. Can't be doing that. But the May 4th promo last year was really, really good because it was a literal set. And it's not the first time we've seen Lego put out actual sets as promos. They do it every Halloween and even Christmas. They're putting out some actual sets as Christmas or Halloween promos over, higher thresholds. And that's what I'm saving. We've got the Arc 170, we've got the Eater, we've got. There's meant to be a few good sets coming out. I'm trying to think of any other sets. I'd probably pick up the Dark Falcon as well. They're the three that I'm resting on. That's already like £250. The promos shouldn't be too much higher than that in terms of threshold. It does depend if I do end up going in person, if the stores have those in stock. That could be a difficulty we run into, so I definitely need some backups. And all these promos are only Star Wars sets, so it's not like I can add the modular spaceship into my cart and hope that adds up to the total. But there's bound to be a few more. We're rumoured to get a Jango Fett starship. I think that's for a May 4th drop, which is looking to be an interesting set. I wonder what's gonna come of Jango Fett starship, because I built one ages ago. I never made a video on it, and I might have to. It's right here actually, just at the back here. Return of the Jedi's. Yes, has a set. The UCS Jabba Salvage. That's a good one. We've also saw Ahsoka's Eater in my local WH Smiths. WH Smiths I have not been in for 4 years probably. I don't know the last time I stepped foot in a WH Smiths. But how's it priced on Lego? I don't know if you get good sales, because not a lot of people would go in there, or if, vice versa, no sales because no one's buying the Lego in there. But might have to pop in, see if there's any good deals. Where? Oh, yes. Yeah, that's ain't not bad. I don't know where my local WH Smiths is, to be fair. Nowhere near me. I haven't seen one for Oh, no. I do know where one is, actually. So we need 2 sets for the original trilogy. Same price as Lego. To be fair, not half bad. WH Smiths probably don't have a loyalty system, but I picked up a fair few sets in like Sainsbury's with the Nectar card deals. Not the Nectar price deals, but if you spend like £40, get a £5 or a £10 off, they're pretty decent to pick up. New Hope, Empire Strikes Back. A New Hope, stay tuned. Tomorrow, it technically isn't a New Hope. It's from a scene that's been pulled out of a New Hope. But tomorrow there'll be a video with a set for a New Hope. Empire Strikes Back, it's got to be around. Does it have to be around Best Spin? Can we re-release the Master Builder series, Cloud City? Because if that come back out, honestly, the complete set, I know a load of people would be upset because of the price of the figures in there. By the way, when you are using the stickers, I do peel them off with my finger. It's a little easier than using the brick separator. And finger oils no longer, as of like 2008 or whenever Lego decided to switch up the sticker, finger oils no longer play too big a role on the adhesiveness of the sticker. Just in case you were curious, I went down a little rabbit hole the other day and found out, so it's pretty nice to know. Obviously, you start licking the back of a sticker, it's not sticking down for anything. Do not lick your Lego stickers. But yeah, fun little fact. A New Hope could have a UCS Ben Kenobi's hut. What I really want to continue is, recently I built the Mini Builder Series Cantina, which I think I have behind me, so I can show you if you haven't seen that. But what I like about the Mini Builders line that I've started, I created this whole line in my head. You could get not just the Cantina, you could get Kenobi's hut, you could get the Lars homestead, you can get the Skywalker homestead from Phantom Menace. And by Lego releasing smaller sets, they could still do a Master Builder size set, but you just have so many more locations from Star Wars. Oh, this is the wrong way around. That you could just have like most of Tatooine in one set, and it's an odd idea, I don't think I'd be as interested in that as I was the Cantina, just because of all the detail, all the figures that Lego packed in. But I do think it'd be interesting to see how much of, for instance, how much of Tatooine we could get in one set, akin to the Cloud City set, but their own little modular 16x16 buildings that Lego could release, to be honest, as a modular block that breaks down into different Tatooine sets. The Rebuild the Galaxy is a real timeline in Star Wars, 100% canon, yeah. Lego itself has its own, and I'd say Rebuild the Galaxy. How did Rebuild the Galaxy end? I don't remember exactly the problems it caused for the wider Lego Star Wars universe, but I'd say Rebuild the Galaxy is probably akin to the complete saga timeline, the Skywalker saga timeline, and all of the Lego games and stuff like that, because the way I used to see them was they're Star Wars. They are just Star Wars, they're telling the same story, but there's so many jokes and quips and the troopers in the bathtub on the Tantive where they've just like invaded, found a hot tub and decided to strip and get in it. That's something that happened in the complete saga, and I don't remember that happening in Skywalker saga, but it probably did. There's probably a slight reference to it. You're not meant to be there. You're meant to be the other side. And that is a Lego Star Wars timeline. The Lego Star Wars timeline is bonkers as it is. So Rebuild the Galaxy is either happening in that timeline or happening akin to that timeline. Definitely, 100%. And no, we've got that. Why have we got two ingots? Where have I? We've got the ingots on the side. We've got the ingots down at the bottom. Two ingots in the middle here. Oh, the ingots on the outside, and I missed. Let's try and line these up. No other pieces missed. They all look good. But 100% the Lego Star Wars timeline is now headcanon because Disney could never confirm it. It's not a Disney property. It's kind of like Daredevil. If any of you are watching Daredevil, I'm not going to spoil it, but man, what a first episode. That first episode was crazy. And then the second episode even, they're up there. That's a really good show if you haven't watched it. But the Netflix series, which started this run of Daredevil, isn't canon, but you can see they're pulling on things from it. And it's definitely, it's like Star Wars books. They're not canon. No, they are canon until the shows say otherwise and the movies say otherwise. Like with the Ahsoka novel, great book. Most of that still holds up against the Ahsoka show. Few little discrepancies, mainly with the lightsaber blades, and there was also, I think there was an Inquisitor that showed up that now can't, or something like that. But the rest of it is cool. The UCS Jedi Temple for Rebuild the Galaxy should be £400. You know what? Rebuild the Galaxy UCS Jedi Temple's fair. But what about a UCS Sandcrawler? I guess that kind of was. Hello there, never too old for Lego. I guess the Sandcrawler was kind of the Jedi Temple, but it was also a spaceship, and the Imperial Temple. Is it the Jedi Temple or is it the Imperial Temple at the time of Rebuild the Galaxy? We need a Rebuild the Galaxy Sandcrawler. We need it yesterday, and there is rumor that there is one more Rebuild the Galaxy set. So I have to wonder, is there going to be a season 2? Are they testing the waters to see the longevity of Rebuild the Galaxy? The first set seemed to do pretty good. There were a few sales here and there, but they seem to sell pretty well otherwise. Is there going to be a season 2 of Rebuild the Galaxy? Because for sure, I'd be down for that. I mean, after season 1 ending the way it did, I feel like continuing it would be really hard to do. But perhaps this could be the Star Wars what if we have been waiting for. We saw them flip everything. But what if Lego leave Rebuild the Galaxy there? Rebuild the Galaxy was great for a season, and they finished it. They wrapped it up, and they've got to protect that sacred Lego timeline so we can get a few more games down the line when there are a few more Star Wars movies, especially for The Mandalorian. I'd love to get a Lego game like we did for Force Awakens. But what if Lego, with the rights to Star Wars and with a bit more creativity and access to go as wild as they want and make things as funny as they can, made a what if series? That could be really good. If there's going to be a season 2 for Rebuild the Galaxy, it should speak about Jedi Bob. Maybe a prequel with Jedi Bob, and it's like old school animated, not as big budget, quite smaller, and it will just be like a Jedi Bob show. The Jedi Bob show. There we go. Featuring Gonki, and we can just have a load of yeah, basically just play to the fans for that. I think that might be too much for an official show, but I wouldn't mind seeing someone on YouTube just animate like a Jedi Bob show. That'd be quite funny. Definitely not me. I don't have the patience for maybe stop motion, but I don't have the patience for that whatsoever. I tried it a few times. There are a few stop motions on this channel, but it takes such a long time. I guess it'd probably be quicker to animate it using some sort of computer program. We're now building our Ezra minifigure. All right, I want to know. Oh, can I launch a poll from here, or do I need to have? All right, let's have a little look, see if I can quickly get up a poll. I can't get a poll up over on Twitch. We do need to hit 50 followers. If you have a Twitch account, feel free to follow. But over on the tube, I am going to pop up a poll at some point soon. Jobs like Jedi Bob was a construction worker. What, Lego movie style? Jedi Bob just working in the mines. He yearns for the mines. Mission on Mars. Ah, that'd be cool to tie in with Star Wars as well. All right, let's get a poll up. We just built Ezra. What's Ezra's surname? Ezra Bridger. We've just built Ezra Bridger. What is your opinion on? We can't call them Sith eyes because we'll keep yes and no. We can't call them Sith eyes because they're not just on the Sith. They're also on Jedi and other Force users. Ahsoka has nice blue eyes, but Ezra is a humanoid. So what is your opinion on the new Force eyes? Yes or no? That is a horrible poll, but you know what? We'll run with it. What do you think? Yes or no? We'll take a look at that. I can't see that whilst we are live, so I'll take a look at that towards the end of the stream and see what everyone thinks. But yes or no with the new Force eyes? Because honestly, I'm kind of liking them, especially for characters like Ahsoka more. We've been getting them for years now. And we actually got a Jedi Consular, I think was one of the first minifigures back in the Old Republic run of 2012-ish, around that time period. And that was the first time we got the style of eyes on a minifigure, which was nice of Lego to trial it through there. And then slowly Rebels saw Ahsoka adopt the new eyes. When we got a Clone Wars set, again, we got Ahsoka with the brand new eyes, which we're seeing in this set alongside Ezra. I hope that Thrawn has them because Hera had these eyes. So for alien species and non-humanoids, they work really well. But Ezra has been included with them, even though he's a humanoid, which is interesting. It's an interesting take. There we go. We got a few yes. It's a yes, but a no. It depends on the minifigure. I think that's the correct answer. There's no wrong answers, but if there was a correct answer, I think it depends on the figure. Oh, look, we got Thrawn here as well. I didn't even see that. All right, Ezra has his blade, and Thrawn has a little pistol, which I don't think we saw him using in the set. But recently I said about Maul and Ahsoka not using a pistol. I still don't think either of them did in Clone Wars Season 7. But in The Force Awakens, Rey and Kylo, about Rey not using a pistol. When she starts it, she shoots first, proper Han Solo style. They were teasing. Force Awakens was just a big tease for Han Solo having kids, pretty much. I feel like the Sith have full yellow eyes for some random reason. So the Sith's yellow eyes comes from the anger, and I think it makes sense in Lego form, but I also like the contrast of the older minifigures with the Anakin. Oh, it's the Anakin of the Mustafar door, I think, actually, that has the Sith eyes. So let's see if we can get this to focus. Let's go to big camera, and let's see if we can get Anakin to be focused on. You can see for Anakin, the pupils add a little contrast into the eyes, and it does look menacing. Whereas if we get someone like Thrawn up besides, and I think it looks more cutesy than it does menacing. I don't think Thrawn. I don't know. I definitely will be warming up to it either way that they go. But I do feel like Thrawn. I don't know. I really don't know about it, but I'm torn between them. It will be interesting seeing Anakin with fully yellow eyes, especially if we are Oh, especially if we do get what was the rumored set with Dooku, Palpatine's arrest. I think it was titled something like that. We should get an Anakin with Sith eyes in that set, purely because of when he uses his hatred and goes all Sith mode on Count Dooku. That'd be an interesting thing to see if we get pupils or not, because that is a proper Sith minifigure. Maul kind of had Sith eyes. Yeah, I guess we should have got pupils on Maul, but he is an alien. We're getting a lot of okay for certain, like it depends. For Ezra, because he's stuck on the planet, it could be lore. Oh, it could be Force connection or something like that for Ezra. That's a nice way of seeing it, because we were just saying with the Andor sets earlier on that there's usually a bit of lore that is, almost spoiled in these Lego sets. It's not spoiled, but we get a little sneak peek or a heads up, like the fact that we're going to see a U-wing in Andor and there's Imperials. So I've just put it together in my head, spur of the moment. I didn't think about it before today, but spur of the moment earlier. Now I've convinced myself that Andor's going to end up stealing this U-wing, and that's how they're going to get it in Rogue One. Maybe the pupils are important to Star Wars. When Ahsoka, well, no, we're not when Ahsoka season 2. They're trapped on the other planet. Would like to get an Ahsoka season 2 with the Mortis gods, and maybe an announcement at Star Wars Celebration with something with the Mortis gods would lead to the May 4th promo of the three gods with like a mural brick built behind them. That could be quite good. But yeah, I would like to see whenever Ezra pops up next in the wider. I think Thrawn should stay out the Mando movie. That's a hot take, and I've seen a load of people getting excited that Thrawn may make a cameo or have a cameo in the Mandalorian movie. I think Thrawn should stay out the Mandalorian movie. There's a lot going on for Mando, and there's a lot of story in the way of what they could tell and how they could go with the movie. I think Thrawn popping up in the Mando movie was bringing it to cinema, and it would be really, really cool at the time. I'm not saying it wouldn't be cool. I just think it would be better to keep Thrawn building up. This isn't Thrawn's peak. He doesn't come back and then he's killed off very quickly. We want Thrawn to be playing in the background. Perhaps Thrawn is responsible for what's happening to Palpatine. Palpatine ain't keeping himself alive, and he's got all the Sith people. Thrawn would love to get in with the Sith cultists and see what they're all about, but also keep his distance. He's aware with the First Order and how just in pieces it is. Thrawn would keep his distance, perhaps go back to the Chiss. We could get a live action. I'm still reading back through the prequel books of Thrawn, the Chiss Ascendancy novels, and they're really, really good with all the detail, but also with how meticulous Thrawn is at planning every single step. Thrawn knows what he's doing. So, if Thrawn stays at the Mando movie and is just, pulling strings behind the scenes, perhaps Thrawn is responsible. We could get a little Thanos style post credit in the Mando movie, bring those over to Star Wars, and have like Thrawn just chuckling away to himself. But keep Thrawn in the shadows. This is what I would do. Keep Thrawn in the shadows, and then slowly work him up. And then I don't know how far this new Daisy Ridley Rey Skywalker movie is in the future, but bring Thrawn in for that. By that point, Thrawn has amassed an army. He's got connections. Perhaps that gives him his own time to have some Chiss adventures as well, which I think would be pretty nice to see on camera. And then he's this formidable, what Thanos was almost building up to be, and then they brought Thanos back with the whole younger version. And that, if you are a Marvel fan, I think they could kind of do something like that. So we've got Thrawn coming now with Ahsoka. Maybe there is some impact on the New Republic. Maybe there is a little battle in Mando or something, and Thrawn makes it off to the Chiss. I think doing that could somewhat damage his character, but it would be interesting to see how Lego play it. I would almost save him for a rainy day and just keep him in reserves, waiting to pounce at the right moment as soon as Palpatine's knocked down. And the Citizens Fleet, this isn't just the Rebel Resistance fleet that we're talking about in the sequels. This is the Citizens Fleet that gets absolutely demolished. Anyone with a bit of hope, Thrawn, we don't see much of the aftermath. They celebrate a little bit, and then suddenly you see the underside of the Chimera pop out of light speed, hyperspace, and that would be terrifying because yeah, there's nothing really to be done about that. There's not much that the resistance can do. There's not much resistance left, and then that would, with Luke gone and all of that, we've got Ahsoka, who's who knows where. Maybe season two's little Mortis arc, and then they zip back. We don't really know what's going to happen. Ahsoka's got Sabine at least, and then we've got. We need two slopes. We do. And then they've got Thrawn to bring in for this formidable opponent whenever they need like a big bad to just set things straight again. Oh, I probably, there we go. Probably need a little magnifying glass for me to find half of these pieces. Oh, nice little gold here. There's a lot of connections being made in this set, and I like the fact that this is all one solid block, but I'm a little disappointed that they're studding and tiling over these connections, so they're not pulling back out. It's an interesting choice. It is an interesting choice, but it's Lego. Look, we've just clipped these pieces together, and now we're studding them down. I feel like that could have been a brick if we were going with that path, but Lego know what they're doing. We might need that clip later on. We might even need that clip in a couple seconds to put this piece in, and then this would clip in here. We'll see. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. But the original trilogy set, I don't think we ever mentioned an Empire Strikes Back set. I said about bringing back the Master Builders series, best Cloud City, Cloud City best bin set, because I'd definitely pick that up now if I had the choice, if I had the chance. And Empire Strikes Back. What haven't I said in a stream actually? I said live not too long ago that Lego have done everything from Empire Strikes Back, but they can't have. There's no way. They've just released an 8080 driver helmet, and I suppose there are a few other helmets and bits that we could get, like a little Ugnaught face or something like that. It'd be quite comical. But there's got to be something else we could get from Empire Strikes Back. I'm trying to think where it starts off. I tell you what we could do actually. Lego just go out on a limb, which for most of the ideas that come out my mouth are Lego going out on a limb or Lego doing something that is just completely unexpected. But I think what Lego could do is release a clothing line, but a brick-built clothing line. We've seen a few different clothing articles and that be made for different conventions across the internet. Imagine if Lego brought out a brick-built Lando cape. How crazy that would be if it was wearable and it was similar to the mosaics, I guess. Similar to the mosaics, they didn't go down well. I'm not going to say it's going to be a #1 bestseller, but what if for Empire Strikes Back, Lego released a Lando cape? Yeah, you haven't missed much, to be fair. With Lego capes, I don't know how I feel about that. It's my idea, so I feel like I should back it a bit more, but I don't know how I'd feel. I have to see a Lego cape to know how I feel about it. How are we feeling about Lego capes? I'm not going to run a poll, but I don't know. I don't know if I can convince myself about that. I've said it, and now I've gone back on it. Ah, hello there. Hello there, Robert from Germany. Oh, I tell you what, I didn't realize how many people watched from Germany and from, I think it's Canada as well. But how are we feeling about the new, I made a little community post not too long ago. How are we feeling about the dubbing? I mean, I assume you speak and understand a bit of English because from is definitely English. I don't know how to say from in Germany. Cool. But YouTube are rolling out, for those of you that don't know, a little dubbing feature for a few popular languages on the platform, which will enable a wider audience, not just from, English speaking side, but I actually watch a handful of German Lego creators. I tell you what, the Star Wars mocks over in Germany are something that is, and I'm not saying everyone else's, aren't as good, but Germany have a special something over there. I've seen a few different giant senates and the likes to be impressed with that. So English not good, no problem, because YouTube are rolling out a new feature on the platform that will dub what I'm saying. I don't know how it works with live streams. Live streams might be a little, you might have to wait for live streams on demand, but they're running out a new feature where they're going to dub all English speakers into like German and vice versa, German speakers into English. And I got a little notification to say that it's coming to this channel actually soon. How soon is soon? I don't know, but yeah, Lego designers are also from Germany, so I'd be able to watch a load more. Well, it doesn't stop me watching videos. I'd be able to understand a lot more of what's being said. I think it's really, really cool that YouTube are pushing for that, and there's a few other things as well. So it will still be me talking, and it'll still be my video. They'll just dub another voice over it, and I don't suppose it'll end up sounding like me either. I did look into, because I was over lockdown and I went to Spain a few times learning Spain. Look, learning Spain? Learning Spanish. So I was actually looking at dubbing my own videos in Spanish. And for anyone out there that understands Spanish, be grateful, like be grateful YouTube running this feature, because you would not want to hear me try and pronounce half of these terms in Spanish. I know I had to say a few of the Star Wars ones, like Ahsoka, Tano, Thrawn, because their names, they don't change. But yeah, I know a little bit of Spanish, not enough to be doing videos every day. That would be really interesting, not only for viewers. Hopefully we can get a few more diverse in terms of speaking viewers, and yeah, watching content as well. I'm really intrigued to see how well that works, how smooth it is. We're waiting on a few different things from YouTube. Well, we're waiting, everyone's waiting, but we're waiting on a few different things from YouTube at the minute, mainly the community update, which is taking Reddit and just mushing it into YouTube, which will enable a load of views to add pictures and post. You know, when I build something, if you've got an improvement on it, because I see in the comments and I see on other posts, a lot of yous are taking what I do and running with it. That's the point of Lego, not just to stop with one build. Like this set, for instance, there will be a handful of modifications I'm sure I'll be making to this over the next couple of weeks, but also with sets that I build and mocks that I build, taking those, making them your own. And if you do, definitely share them over on Rubricable or wherever it is you are building it. Actually Finnish, but I live in Estonia. Interesting as well. So I wonder, I don't think Finnish was one of the languages, and I don't actually remember. I remember German, and I remember German. That's it. I don't remember any of the other languages. I can't remember which languages. I don't want to start listing potential ones and get them wrong. Is that a Master Moldy mouse pad for a mouse and keyboard? It is. I can't remember the exact size of this. This desk mat, it's a mouse pad, it's a keyboard mat. I think the official name is desk mat because of how big it is. But this is available to buy if you do want this. I wanted a mat that matched up to the studs of a Lego brick. The dimensions of the stud aren't exactly what a stud is on Lego, as you can see, but these studs are spaced out the same as Lego bricks, which I thought was really, really cool. I'm going to try not to shake the camera anymore, but yeah, I wanted a mat that matched up to the studs and almost acted like a base plate without being as rough as a base plate. So I went ahead and created my own one, and that is available on the site. Lego Star Wars fan. Lego Star Wars fan. I can't read the end of that. All I've got is I'm Lego Star Wars fan. So apologies if you have. I don't know why that's not popping up. That is odd. But yes, this desk mat is available on my website, mastermoldy-shop.fourthwall.com, I do believe. And if that is wrong, I apologize, but it's quite a mouthful. There's a link on my link tree. It's like the third one down, and I'm sure we can get it up in the chat at some point later on as well. But this is, they're fairly, I will say, my merch over there is a lot more expensive than I want it to be. But how it works is fourth wall, where I design all of the t-shirts. I'm actually wearing a t-shirt that has just run out. February, we had this exclusive t-shirt being sold. Keep your eyes peeled, because I know there's like 19 of you or something that saw it, but keep your eyes peeled because it may return for 2 weeks. And Robert, did you want to say 30 years? Oh, is that the rest of it? 30 years. Oh man, we've got a nice variety of ages, that's for sure, here on the channel, which is nice to see. Lego really is for everyone. I feel like recently it's been flipped. I know growing up, Lego was always a kids thing, especially for me looking at, oh, these are nice pieces, adding those to the collection. Looking at store displays and different events going on, it was very much a kids only project or product or toy. But recently, there has been a big push for adults welcome. And I do think, yeah, 30 years. And I do think with sets like the Shire, which we are going to look at in about a bag and a half's time, Lord of the Rings isn't just for adults. Adults, yeah, we'll probably appreciate it more, because I'm not sure how many kids even know what Lord of the Rings is. Oh, that's a pain to say. But there are definitely some children that would love a Lord of the Rings set that are probably playing the Lego games. The Lego games are awesome. And would love to get their hands on, especially something like the Cave Troll set without paying the really expensive fees that we're seeing on the aftermarket. And the fact that Lego keep coming out with expensive sets. The most recent one is the most affordable, which is nice to see. But the fact that a lot of the sets are quite expensive does mean they're more for adults than they are kids. And I would like to see a few cheaper Lord of the Rings sets. They're moving in the right direction. Lego, I guess the more these sets sell, the more they'll be able to make them affordable. But it is interesting to see the way the Lego Lord of the Rings, for instance, that used to be a theme, used to have a load of sets that were quite affordable. I mean, they weren't really affordable, but they were fairly affordable to get your hands on. And now it's just a little bit harder to get because it's not as in demand. Maybe with what's the movie that's just come out? The War of the Rohirrim or something like that, isn't it? And we've got Rings of Power didn't take off. If Rings of Power took off, we might have been able to have seen a Rings of Power Lego Lord of the Rings adjacent. And I get it's a different license, but I think Lego could definitely have made a little move on that. I guess it's hard with where Lord of the Rings is. If they were to do, is that meant to be two? If they were to do some sort of reboot or remaking, like we are rumored to get with Harry Potter. Harry Potter's coming back in the series. Reason though. Love. I like in like a lot of pop songs and that recently, especially if they have a bit of Spanish. French I haven't done for years. French I'm really rusty on. Yeah, Lord of the Rings Lego sets. That's a good thing with Lego. So Lego, I guess there are different pronunciations, but Lego, Lord of the Rings is fairly it doesn't necessarily translate because of the name. Lord of the Rings does translate, I guess, but it's still well known in both languages. But yeah, pop songs. I like the way with the odd Spanish word thrown in. We've got the Eurovision song as well that is probably not going to come through as a Eurovision song, so no point talking about that. But yeah, when songs are in English, and obviously being an English speaker, English is a given for me, but when songs are in English, and it is nice because then you pick up the odd word, and words I don't know, I'll end up Googling, oh well, don't know this, what does this mean? And having a little look, I did miss a part in here. It's meant to be a 1x3 just in there as well, and that's just to provide a bit more like lumbar support, bit of support in the middle. Lego Masters the series was filmed in Finland. I've watched. Oh, I didn't watch the British Lego Masters because I know there's a few different regional ones. I think it was the Australian Lego Masters that I watched, and yeah, I heard. I think Cheesy Studios here was a Lego Masters here. He's not here. He's He's across the pond, probably somewhere in America. But Cheesy Studios was a Lego Masters contestant. I'm pretty sure he got flown out for that. Lego Masters is quite interesting, actually. I don't think they allow people with any sort of social media status to go on there. I don't know if this channel counts towards Lego. I'm sure it probably does. We missed anything else? Just double checking here because we've got 2 green plates. Yep, haven't missed any of those. Oh, look at that. That's quite nice, actually. So we've missed a little green bit here. And we have a spare blaster as well. I will happily take that. I'm sure a clone also could use with that. Watch all the finished version Lego Masters because I told him that watched it. I wonder if Lego Masters and shows like that. I started watching Star Wars when I was learning Spanish. I started watching Star Wars in Spanish, and I will admit I memorized in English the opening scene of Phantom Menace up until Kenobi says, "You were right about one thing, Master. The negotiations were short." And I've memorized the whole of that and then would watch it over and over in Spanish. And I picked up that phrase when I was going to Spain. I can't remember it now, but I picked up parts of that phrase, and that was about it. I don't think I probably picked up a few words from it, but you know, nothing too memorable to have stuck with me for all this time since. And with Morgan Elsbeth, there are actually 2 different blade elements that I'd like to propose here. And I'm wondering where I hid the Ninjago one. Oh, here we go. So we've got a brand new color for an element here. I'm going to put those just off screen, not to spoil it. But we've got a brand new color, trans green. I don't think it's glittery. Be odd if they... Yeah, it's not glittery, but we get a trans green dark saber blade, which is the same piece used for the Mandalorian, Dinjarin. That's a jarring way to say it. And yeah, we get it in trans green for Morgan Elsbeth. It seems, unlike Thrawn's dual pistols, we're only getting... Yeah, let's give Thrawn some dual pistols. We're only getting one of the trans green element. It would have been nice to have got a duplicate of that, as it would have been in the Mandalorian set. But like with the Mandalorian, I'm sure this piece is available now, if not soon, on Lego.com on their online pick-a-brick. And look at that, a nice little end to the sword as well, which you don't see a lot of the time. Now I have made a custom version of this minifigure, and black legs in a sea of black, very hard to find. And it does look a bit different to this, but let's get the actual minifigure. Dual-sided face. The face is the new element for this. Oh, hello there again, Kelly. Welcome back to the streams. Master, do you watch Star Wars What Ifs? I tell you what, this channel's coming up to 5 years. I think October this year. This channel is 5 years old, which is crazy because I operated for the last year. It's been Lego content. It's been doing really well. And the year before that, it was mostly Lego content. You can scroll back through a lot of that. But for the first few years, I was doing Star Wars What Ifs. And it's still one of the Star Wars What Ifs. They weren't very popular videos, but one of the Star Wars What Ifs is still my second most popular. It's so close. I think the minifigure scale video overtook it a few months ago, and it was so close to being the second most popular. I'm working on redoing it at some point for some sort of milestone, or maybe for May 4th I'll re-release that video. But I had a lot of fun making What Ifs, and they were pretty good theories. I remember doing my first video that I've kept was I think it was leading up to Book of Boba Fett. So it was like a year on from starting the channel. Maybe, oh no, it would have been like 2 years, I think, after starting the channel. That's the first video I've still got today, because I didn't keep a lot of the old ones. And I think I started posting some of my Funko box openings to TikTok as well. So a few of them have kept around. I've got none of them on YouTube anymore. But most of my What Ifs I've actually still got. So I might create a little playlist and hide that somewhere on the internet. What if Obi-Wan dies instead of Qui-Gon is a What If? that's a solid what if. And what I wanted to do, I had started getting into stop motion not too long ago because what I wanted to do was rebirth what ifs, but in stop motion. I thought that would be so cool. And then I tried stop motion. Stop motion is a lot of work. So kudos to Wallace and Gromit and all the other stop motion animators out there because yeah, I figured out very, very quickly. I don't have the patience for a smooth stop motion, at least not yet. A few years down the line, we'll see. But right now, I definitely don't have the patience for any stop motion. But I'm definitely thinking of bringing back what ifs. You've seen it recently on the channel with certain mocks that I'm building. There's I think a lot of the what ifs I do here on the channel are Lego based. So it's like, what if this set come out today? What if this set come out 10 years ago, and making little mocks of that? But I would like to introduce, so what if Obi-Wan dies instead of Qui-Gon, for instance? My own little Rebuild the Galaxy, which may be somewhat inspired by Rebuild the Galaxy in ways that I would never admit to on camera in case Lego were to come at me for it. But too late for that. But definitely, yeah, that's something I could definitely revive here on the channel. That would be really interesting to do as well. So I suppose we do a lot of it here on stream and dive into what ifs and go down that path, and that's not going to stop by any means. But doing full videos could be interesting. I might have done something along the lines, maybe not of what if Obi-Wan died instead of Qui-Gon, but I've definitely done a few of Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan was my favorite character to do what ifs on because there was so much of the story revolves indirectly around Obi-Wan. You've got, I guess Anakin being so close to Obi-Wan kind of makes that point in itself. But a lot of like what if, I think I put up Kenobi against Yoda as well, and that was a really fun one. I don't think I've seen any what ifs recently. I have gone back and rewatched a few of my own, and oh, they're dreadful. They are nothing like what my recent videos are like. So I don't know about re-releasing them. I might have to re-record a few of them, but yeah, just quite simple, putting up pictures. I like doing mocks that relate to it, in the sense of, say, what if Kenobi died instead of Qui-Gon? We'd get like the Naboo set, but it would act out differently, take a few photos, and I like seeing it. I like visually being able to tell what would happen if. So maybe you will see that return here on the channel. But I also like talking about it in streams because we've spoken quite a bit, more than I'll probably think, about what if something happened or something else happened. And it's nice to throw out these theories because you never know what Star Wars is going to throw. I mean, I'm sure fans in '99 were saying everyone thought Maul was this really bad, like akin to how Boba Fett was seen in the original trilogy, and then they killed Maul off straight away. And there was definitely a group of fans, oh, but what if he survived? What if he survived? And I feel like that's what happened in Clone Wars. Well, what if Maul survived? Well, what if Grievous hadn't met Anakin? What if, a few little what ifs that they tweaked in there? What if there were Force gods and the Mortis gods were suddenly born? We had the Wills, which originally were going to be the story of Star Wars. Then it went to R2-3PO. Then it went, well, it's a movie. Let's just run it as a movie. And that's how Star Wars was born. But then we got the Wills brought in Clone Wars. There's a lot of these similar things. You should watch Star Wars Galaxy and Planet Patrol. Shout out to those. They do the best Star Wars what ifs. Maybe one day I'll bring it back and try to contend with those. But there are some really good theories out there. Definitely, like what if Kenobi died? Because if Qui-Gon trained Anakin, there's a what if I probably did. That would be universe changing. That flips Star Wars on its head, because I think the reason Anakin turned out how Anakin did was in part because of how Kenobi turned out, which is passed down all the way. This is something that, right, let me screenshot. Hopefully this doesn't. Oh no, don't let me screenshot. Hope it does. I'll have to remember those names. I'll jump back in the stream afterwards and jot those down. But something that I was talking with my fiance about recently, in terms of it's less of a what if and more of just a general theory. But what if Yoda and Yaddle are genuinely Grogu's parents, and not just because they're the only species around? We kind of saw in Mundi with his like 9 wives or so when it comes to species repopulation. But Yoda's very wise in the sense of it's like, oh, perhaps it's our time. Master Oogway from Kung Fu Panda never got the Duel on Peridea set. So far, I will admit, we've built a great base. I can't lie to you. We've built a complex mills plated grey base, and already there's some rare parts in here. You know, from a parts pack, it's decent. I wouldn't buy this just for the parts, but the minifigures and the combination of these play features, I feel like this is going to be another Tantive build. I don't get excited about a load of Legos. Well, I get excited about all Lego sets, but I don't get this excited about a load of Lego sets. The Tantive was a big one for me. Honestly, I did end up improving that set, but I don't think there was much I could do to the original set. And I think this is up there. The minifigures we get Elsbeth. Elsbeth has a different head, otherwise a very similar minifigure. This Night Trooper, if we are getting a battle pack, this Night Trooper will probably be in there with this identical Night Trooper, so it's not worth picking up for them. But then we have Thrawn. Like Gonkorek said, Thrawn, Ahsoka, Ezra. We've got Thrawn with his dual molded legs. That is everything we've been asking for here on the channel. When it comes to minifigures with boots, dual molded legs is a must. And even Ezra is a pretty decent minifigure. I do have to wonder, Ahsoka, this version of Ahsoka is probably going to be used in another set. You know, they're probably going to pop up. Ezra less so. I think Ezra is going to have a new look. Just want the Thrawn out of that set for a Rebels movie. Oh, that's a good idea. I think this Thrawn is, what's the set retail for? 45, 50 odd pound, and that around that in dollars, euros. There's a little bit of difference. You could buy it online for 20 euros. Oh, I guess that's the Thrawn. Yeah, would you pick up if you just want the one minifigure? That's a good question. So if you want the Thrawn, the legs are going to be cheap because white trousers with black boots, I think, yeah, they're in Build a Minifigure. Yeah, they are in Build a Minifigure. I picked them up with a mad scientist, so they're going to be really, really cheap. The hair, the black hair, has come in a few minifigures. I know I've got a few City minifigures behind me that have that hairpiece. I don't know if they originally had it or if I bought that online, but the hairpiece, the boots aren't that uncommon. So you can buy Thrawn straight up. I wonder if buying the torso and the head is even cheaper. You'll have to find someone with both, so maybe buying the minifigure. I think if you could buy the torso and the head for like a tenner, there you go, they're $3.99, the hair's €2. So if you can buy the torso and the head for cheaper than the minifigure, it might be worth just picking up the figure. But if you are willing to sell on your Ahsoka and Ezra, which is something that, yes, investing in Lego is not a wise choice if you're looking for a profit. But if you want Thrawn, and Thrawn's 20 odd quid, Ahsoka and Ezra are going to be not too far behind because at the time of recording this video, they're exclusive. This Elsbeth with this sword element and the face is probably going to be a bit more valuable than the other one. And the Night Trooper right now, it's the only place you can get it. People will definitely be buying loads of those for armies. And similar, if you're Rebels mock, people are buying the Troopers for their Ahsoka mocks. So if you're willing to sell the minifigures, you can buy some cheap post-in envelopes, make sure they're all packaged correctly. But if you're willing to sell those figures, it might be worth picking up the set. You might have to hold on to these figures for, weeks, months. It could be a year before they sell. But if you're able to sell them eventually and make back the money of the set, sell the set without the minifigures, sell the 4 minifigures, I'm sure you could probably earn even a little bit more than the set's actually worth right now with a few of the sales on. So that could be a good idea, picking up the set. Again, that is given you have the money to pick up the set. Sometimes it is better buying just the minifigure. Yeah, Captain Rex was €200 until the Y-Wing, so you never know when these minifigures will go up down. The thing is, the longer you leave it, the more expensive everything is going to be. It kind of is the way, but there are going to be ebbs and flows, ups and downs. Captain Rex was €200. Y-Wing come out, it was €16. In 10, 20 years' time, that Captain Rex is going to be expensive again because none of the sets were available, and most people would have, piped with theirs a bit cheaply. Maybe there are fewer around. There's no telling. But if you're able to buy this set, sell it without the minifigures for pretty cheap, that gives someone the build that doesn't really worry about the minifigures. Maybe they have like an old Thrawn and Ahsoka, and then sell the minifigures you don't want. You could probably earn most of the set's worth just buying Thrawn, which could be, oh, there we go, this one we need to double. 1, 2, 1 and 2. That could be a good idea if you're able to sell on. And I don't just recommend Bricklink, Brick Owl, but also in the UK, I've been addicted to Vinted and sites like that. eBay. If you are overseas, I know America have bricks and minifigs. I don't know what the prices of these figures are over in bricks and minifigs, but you could go over there, double check, see what the trading credit is, earn a bit of money back, and maybe even find another rare Rebels character that you could get, like the head of a what's his name? I forgot his name. Garizeb. Garizeb Aurelia Zeb. Yeah, get ahead of a Zeb using the mock as well. You want to use yeah. That is a good point. The UCS Venator might not be full, like you might not be getting as much worth from it. You still get a little bit from the Venator itself, but it has gone down because of Captain Rex being available in the Y-Wing, which I think is Lego do this all the time. They'll have a seemingly rare minifigure, and then it turns out, it's a lot easier to get their hands on. Sometimes they've had printed arms and more detailed legs for figures, but like with the Bespin Vader, I don't know how many of you remember. I think Luke was pretty much the same from the was it the Master Builders series? It might have been it might have been the Master Builders series, but the Luke came out in the Bespin Duel, and Vader had printed arms. I believe that was the first time Vader had printed arms, and everyone was spending more than they should, especially the likes of, I think, M&R. M&R is a perfect example because, in his line of work, he always gets the figures first. So he spent a lot of money probably getting that Vader or getting that set, getting someone else to get it delivered to him. And ever since, Vader with printed arms has been in every set under the sun. Anytime Vader shows up, he's got those printed arms because it's now a given. That was a big push. Vader comes in so many sets. He's warranted that much detail. Same with, it is a shame we didn't keep on getting any Luke Landspeeders, because we must have been only a set or two off getting Luke Landspeeders with Luke with dual molded legs for his boots that would also work as a Geonosis Padme upgrade. And personally, I'd have bought two of the newest Landspeeders if they did. Suppose we also got the UCS Landspeeder, and we didn't get dual molded legs for Luke with that, but we got 3PO. We must have got Luke with it. It might just been a regular. There's no Master Builder series anymore. It lasted 2 years. Then came the UCS again. I do think there might be one more Master Builders. Give it a few years, there'll be one more Master Builder series. They started off with Hoth, took feedback, didn't like the fact that it was all over the place. Then with Bespin, took feedback. It was decent, but it was still very much a playset with Cloud City Bespin. And then with Mos Eisley, it was good, but the Cantina is the most iconic location Lego could have gone with. And once they've done that, there's not really much. There's nowhere to go after doing the Cantina. What do you do to beat the Cantina? There's not really anything. And we had Bespin and Hoth from Empire Strikes Back. I guess the only other thing they can do is locations like the Death Star. But the Death Star doesn't work. I guess you could argue bringing back one of the bigger Death Stars would be a Master Builder series. I don't think it would. I think they either go UCS and make it really complex and detailed, or they make it a playset. And I think Lego have realised every set is good nacht, Robert. Hopefully I've said that semi-good. See ya. May the bricks be with ya. Everyone else that has to dip out of the streams early, always catch it on a VOD. Want to make a Jedi Bob army, like the OG Jedi Bob, and then rebuild. Are they facing off against each other? Are these Jedi Bobs squaring up to each other, or are we getting Jedi Bob versus who would go up against a Jedi Bob army? A Jar Jar Binks? I Darth Jar Jar. That'd be a good idea. Lightsaber sets. I tell you what, the gift with purchase lightsabers that Lego did would be a good idea for a collector series line. I think the only problem with that, we've seen what Lego do. Yeah, the brick build, blade and all. I think blade and all they could really get away with, because the smaller hilts are more gift with purchases. It does make it more expensive, which, I'm not asking for Lego sets to be more expensive, but I think the blade would look pretty cool. And also part per piece is going to suck on that set because of how big the blades are and how big the pieces would be. But yeah, we've seen with the Bespin Duel. So it's a sore subject for a lot of people because Lego promised to stop with regional exclusives, and then the world went into was it lockdown? Was it lockdown, or was it like a hurricane that stopped one of the Comic-Cons, the conventions, where the Lego sets were meant to be sold, and then they became North America exclusives. But 3 pillars up, and these are actually looking pretty good, even for Lego. I don't think there's much way they could have brick built these, but yeah, Lego ended up making those North America exclusive sets. And we saw the Nebulon B was a Starship collection, and that was locked down, thanks. And we saw Nebulon B Starship collection, which is now a line of UCS sets. It's not a UCS set, it's an 18+ model. And then we saw same time Bespin Duel, the first diorama we got. Darth Vader's bust, I think, was a few years before, and now we have the helmet line. So yeah, the gift with purchase lightsabers, we've seen Yoda, we've seen Luke / Anakin / Rey / Kylo probably held it for a bit. Han held it for a bit. Do you think Leia held it for a bit? Who else held the Skywalker saber? I'm trying to think. Kenobi held it for a bit. I forget my mic's up there. And 66 clones. Execute Order 67. It's one of my favourite scenes from the Skywalker saga, and all the clones just start dancing and going crazy. 67's my favourite order. I've been collecting for a while. Recently started with clone collecting. As you can see on this wall, you can't really see here. There you go. As you see on this wall, I think we might have just surpassed 100 clones. I'm going to do an update video when I have a few more hexagons and a few more clone minifigures. But whilst we're on clone minifigures, I decided to add the Akbar Trooper to my wall, which has a knock-on effect. One of Kenobi and Anakin lightsaber kit, 1,500. Maybe I'll have to try and part out, because I know the lightsabers, they're not common pieces. They're pretty affordable to part out for the gift with purchases. But speaking of clones, I have this custom clone of Palpatine that I made 2019. Is that when? 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. This custom minifigure is like 6 years old. It's been rebuilt and broken down ever since. But I've got this custom. Let me show you. Let's blow this up and try and work with this here. So we've got this custom Palpatine. Hey, we got this custom Palpatine here that is meant to be from Rise of Skywalker, but the face is way too detailed. Now, we've just got this Night Trooper from Ahsoka Tano's Duel on Peridea. Yes, it's a year old. We've just opened it for today's set, and this has some brand new eyes and also looks a lot creepier than the old one. So if we pop that off and put it on Palpatine and remember to replace the hood, look at that. Look how creepy that Palpatine looks. This is the perfect Episode 9 Papa Palpatine decrepit clone minifigure, and I actually think it looks pretty good. So I might have to steal the head. A lot of my clone troopers are displayed without their heads, and if you do want to display a minifigure without the heads, don't go through the hassle of trying to get some blank heads. I'll catch up with chat again in a second. But what I do recommend is getting some studs. I have an abundance of black studs. Pretty sure I picked up most of them from a pick a brick wall, I think, or maybe some online orders. And I actually put 2 black studs on the top. The studs hold the neck nice and firm without getting stuck over time. I learned the hard way about that with my 1x1 round bricks. All of my phase 1 clone troopers had 1x1 bricks, and I've actually worn down the neck of one of them trying to take one of the bricks off. But all you need is 2 studs of any color. You can pick up a box for pretty cheap on the Pick a Brick wall in any of your local Lego stores, and then you can put the helmet on from actually. Oh, the new Stormtrooper head works. The new Stormtrooper helmet works really well because with some clones and that you can see a gap in the back. But there you go. No one needs to know except for everyone watching this. And if I post this in any other content, I guess you all know now. But we've just improved. We could take the Palpatine face and put that under the Night Trooper, but I'm going to keep the Night Trooper's head on Palpatine here. I think that looks so good. You're going to need to change the hands on it. But I really hope we get some more of those faces. I don't think I've shown you this Enoch minifigure. Let's just take a little side tangent. Let's catch up on chat. 66. How you doing, Cody? Yeah, one of my favourite scenes from the Skywalker game. And actually, I really like I think we've said about this, the defeating Grievous part of the complete saga. For some reason, I just like the way it's very arena-like. Why does this exist? I have no idea. Nice things, thank you. I'm Captain Rex, the captain of the 501st Legion, and the leader is Anakin Skywalker. The commander is Ahsoka Tano. Let's just give it a memorize the words. Captain Rex. Doesn't Rex give a Is it the trailer? Is it the trailer for Clone Wars Season 7 that Rex gives a little speech to? No. I'm thinking back, there's something with the helmets, zooming in, like explosions in the background. I can't remember where that's from. But Enoch here does also have a nice little zombie head on them. Focus. Hey, Enoch has a scary zombie head. If we compare that to the Lego version that we've now put on Palpatine, yeah, Enoch's head is actually terrifying. It's I guess it's probably the red eyes that make it a bit terrifying. But Enoch, for those of you that don't know, is Thrawn's captain of the Night Troopers. We don't really know what sort. I guess it's Thrawn's Legion. We'll call it Thrawn's Legion. The 322nd is basically Ahsoka's Legion anyway. So it's Thrawn's Legion, and where Enoch is on screen, just below. Hopefully soon we will have chat. I would like to get chat on the stream, just because I know people following this through on demand, it can be a pain trying to get up live chat, and then do you filter it by top chat? Do you have it live and have all the messages buzzing? It'd be much easier if it was already on screen and you could full screen this. Memorize the words. Also this year, you're going to be me for Halloween. That is scary. If you could have one minifigure, that is actually a really scary thought. If you could have one minifigure from the Fortnite Battle Bus, who would it be? I can answer that because the reason I'm looking at getting the Battle Bus is for, and I can't remember. It's one of the early skins. I can't remember. Let's have a little look. So, tell you what, don't think they've named the minifigures on here for Halloween. Everyone decided to dress up as like a clone or stormtrooper and meet in like a local place. You know, Lego stores have these make and takes. May 4th even, not even for Halloween. Maybe May 4th is best. Everyone dressed up as a clone or stormtrooper and just arrived. I think it'd probably overwhelm the stuff there, so maybe don't do that. But yeah, it's the figure from the battle bus is the one with the hood. I realise now two of them have the hood. If you're opening it, it's the one with the fancy hood on the right hand side, next to Adventurer Peely and Meowsicles. I can't remember the name of it. Would it be that one, or would it be would it be Peely or Cuddle Team? I don't know. I'd probably want all of them, to be fair. But I like the Fortnite Battle Bus with how many minifigures it can fit. Real names: Eden stole your sister's phone. As long as your sister subscribed and has dropped a like on this screen. Raven, yeah, I think I'd take Raven. That's the first one. But let's have a little look. What else we got going here? One minifigure from the Fortnite Battle Bus. It will be Raven. I think I like the minifigure. The skin's pretty good, to be fair, but I do like the minifigure a lot. Adventure Peely. I like how Fortnite said Fortnite do have a Lego mode, which we've played here on the channel, and that is pretty. We're missing. We're missing. Oh. Have I done something? I might have done something. We might need to go back, but I like how Fortnite said they were only doing one skin per. Oh no, we've already got them on. Look at that. These are the pieces I'm missing on. One skin per character. And then they went back for Peely, because the first Peely minifigure they did was Adventurer Peely, which was cool for the Lego game, but people wanted the real Peely. And then Lego updated it, and now there is a real Peely skin as well. I can't remember where I saw that. I saw that somewhere. And use your sister's email to have Minecraft on your phone and Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga. Fair enough. I mean, do what you have to do for the Lego games. I'm not getting behind anything, you know. I'm trying not to incriminate myself here, but it's worth it for Lego Star Wars. That's something that in a few weeks' time I'm going to trial a new type of stream. I've been asked a few times to play Battlefront, you know, in the Lego games, and I did 2 years ago play Battlefront. I think I can't remember why that was, but I did play Battlefront on this channel. I don't know if the videos are still up, but that is definitely something I'm looking at doing. And would you all be interested in playing through, all of us playing through Lego Skywalker Saga? I guess it's more so me playing, but you know, you're there watching and influencing the decisions of the game. Is that something you'd be interested in? Definitely let me know, and I'll consider that. Coming up to May 4th, we might have to start, as well as these Saturday streams. These Saturday streams are still going with, maybe I should be building this actually on the camera for you to see, but it's not going to influence these Saturday streams. These are still going to be going, but as well as getting a run of the Lego game Skywalker Saga, we don't just have to play Star Wars. I'm a massive Star Wars fan here, massive Lego fan, massive Star Wars fan, but we've also got the Batman games, we've got the Indiana Jones game. I think there's only one of them. That one's quite funny. We've got Lord of the Rings as well. We'll get on to the leaks in just a second. I feel like we're finishing up this build now. Just got these 4 little golden markers to go on the back here. 1, 2, 3. And other games like Battlefront and who knows what really. But yeah, if that's something you'd like to see, let me know in chat in the comments. And like I said, Battlefront's been asked for. There will be a battle. Oh, look at this. Look what I've just found. Hey, we've got a second blade. I was literally saying earlier about getting a second blade. Did we get a second one? Did we get a second blade in the N1? I don't remember seeing about it. I know I've got a few of them because I ordered them off Lego before picking up the... Well, I didn't pick up the N1. But did anyone that got the N1 Starfighter, let me know in chat. Did you get a second blade? Because we seem to got a second one with Morgan Elsbeth. But all right, where's the other blade? Last week we built Z-Blob's little mech, and I still haven't built the dinosaur from it. So maybe that's something I'm saving away for a future stream. I don't think we need the rest of it. But with Z-Blob's mech that we built last week, we have another blade element, of which we have 2. And funnily enough, the Ninjago element I've got off to the side also has 2. So we're going to do a quick 1, 2, 3 in chat. Honestly, I think we mix this up. Usually I'd go on popularity and we'll be checking in on the poll in just a second. I think we take the first answer. We spice it up a little bit. The first answer after I've shown. You can't say 1, 2, 3 now, but after I've shown the blades, let's bring up the big camera. Once I've shown the blades. So the first blade here, we'll go number one is the one that Lego give. We've got this green blade that came with the set, and it's just a green version, trans green of the dark saber. All three of these are different greens. Number two is the Z-Blob blade, which is a bit thicker. It's also a bit thinner, but you can see it is a lighter green color, which, looking at it on camera, I'm not sure I like this anymore. But the blade we see in the Ahsoka show is a bit more fiery, like this Ninjago element. Personally, this is my favorite. So let me know in chat, 1, 2, 3, first answer. This determines which one it is. And also in the comments, let me know which lightsaber blade, it's not a lightsaber, which blade do you prefer? I'll be interested to find out. But 1, 2, 3 in the comments, first answer gets to take credit for the entire thing, basically. It's nice that we got two of these in the set. I'm definitely leaning towards, I think also this blade here has a dark green stripe in the middle, which looks like the sword, and then you've got the flames coming off it. So I might switch this down. The only problem is it's got a longer bar, which doesn't hold it in a hilt. So we'd have to put it in the other side. Darksaber blade, I had to take it. It's the first answer. We're going with George over here. And yeah, the Darksaber blade is a nice element. I'm happy that Star Wars has its own. I was using the Ninjago sword for such a long time, but the Darksaber element is pretty cool. So we'll be keeping that. It's nice to see all the different alternate greens, and that second green Darksaber blade, if that shows, I'm realizing I'm showing no one. Let's get back onto this camera. This Darksaber blade, yeah, if this pops up again, at least we've got a second one from this mock, like the Darksaber in the end one. But for now, I'll be putting that in my special drawer of orange lightsabers and short proto sabers and other little bits that we've collected. Sticker sheet is done for, that can be recycled, and I think that is all. So let's get the figures on and see what we think about this Lego set. So we don't need Z-Blob no more, and we don't need Ahsoka. The spare parts aren't half bad, to be fair. I think decent amount of spare parts all in all. You can see the other ones just on the right side of the screen. That bar element, we don't normally get spare pieces that big, but this is Ahsoka Tano's Duel on Peridea. It tells us to put Ahsoka here, Thrawn on this side, Ezra in the middle. Interesting how Ezra isn't holding his lightsaber, so maybe Ezra flies better without it. We're going to go off the book here. Put Ezra in the middle. Ahsoka and Thrawn are dueling it out. This is a really cool feature, as you can see, with the characters wobbling without having to touch the base. Oh, and that isn't meant to happen, but that is not the same that can be said about this middle circle here. You do have to manually spin it, but it gives you a bit more leeway. Anyway, with Ezra, when we looked at the final duel from Return of the Jedi, this play feature didn't work with Luke, and it took a couple attempts to get Luke to hit where you wanted him. But, well, I was expecting it to flick off one way or the other. It kind of just goes up. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I feel like Ezra's meant to be flying forward. All right, let's stick the hands out and see if we can off-center his balance. No, Ezra just seems to fly up. Okay, let's have him lean forward. How are we going to get this to work? Maybe just lean him as far forward as he can go. Yeah, this play feature doesn't seem to be working too well. It just seems to fly up. Anyway, we'll move on from that. That's one of the play features that we've got. We do have these little turntables which can, with the blades colliding, actually move around the character in the middle. So we've got Morgan Elsbeth in the middle, and you can see with Ahsoka fighting Morgan Elsbeth, it is interacting with the character in the middle. So what do we think of this set? Well, I quite like this. Having built the recent duels over the last couple of days, if you're unaware, I do have videos on the channel building all of the last duels. I think this feels more of a diorama than a playset. This doesn't feel like a playset. Lego probably knew that when building it, which is why they've given us these little play features of Ahsoka and Thrawn turning at the minute on the two different turntable elements, which is nice parts to get. Again, this isn't a parts pack, but it is fairly nice to get. The pillars with the stickers, 2 stickers on each, I really don't mind that. The flooring, could we have got better work for the flooring? Well, I can't help but think these lines could have been sorted out, but as we were getting the round gold lines anyway, they might have seemed a bit too thick. So I'm happy we did get the stickers for this. One thing I will say is, could we have just got the golden lines? Because these grey stickers are quite thick for just that gold line. Could we have got these maybe even printed? 4 round elements, 8 2x4s, which they print for road tiles. We probably could have got these printed, and then they could have used those in some other city sets or tried to sneak them in places that we wouldn't have noticed. But yeah, the stickers were unavoidable for these 4 pillars. It's nice to see them a little different. These 2 are identical, so I can't help but think if you were to get 2 of these sets and then use the 2 middle pillars for the other side, it should look as it does in universe in Star Wars and in the Ahsoka show. It's a shame about this element not flicking, and I don't think there's anything we can do to save that. I don't think leaning Ezra one way or another will help, as I assumed Ezra would actually be flying off, towards Thrawn's Chimera in universe. It just seems, because Lego haven't given us a Chimera, there's nothing to be jumping to. But you know what might be the problem? Ezra doesn't have Sabine to help him get across. So maybe if we put Sabine there and lean Ezra forward a bit, and no, I think Ezra's done for. Ezra is not making the Chimera. He's just going to fall off and perish. Another character. I do think instead of getting this Night Trooper, we should have got Enoch in this set. I think it would have been a fine addition to this collection. And honestly, the only thing to make this set better, we saw it with the Tantive. We got Vader, we got Antilles, and we got 2 of each troopers. So Lego do like adding troopers in sets. Maybe at the time, Lego themselves didn't know that they were going to be releasing a battle pack of these Night Troopers. But even then, wouldn't it be better to do the one that has a slim chance showing up? Or are Lego working on something and not telling us? Is Enoch about to come up in Star Wars again? It makes sense, being the right hand of Thrawn. He didn't leave him behind. He's going to show up at some point. Are we going to get a Thrawn Chimera when it does eventually show up? They could basically just reskin the Star Destroyer they've given us, but we're going to add Sabine. Maybe Thrawn should be just back here, hiding somewhat behind the pillar, ready to board his ship, get out of here. Ezra knows that. He's looking over, perhaps like launching himself, because the Lego set sure isn't. And then we've got Ahsoka battling Elsbeth. We'll give Sabine Ezra's saber because he doesn't use it in the show, and they can be squaring off. It would have been nice, actually, to have got a 3rd turntable element out the front. It might have ruined the displayability or the purpose of display for this set, just having those few little teeth. Kind of similar to how they did it at the side. It's hidden well with the black base, but we could have even had a specialized element or something that just goes back and forth, hidden in this brick at the front. I'll definitely be making a modification for, and that would have spun Elsbeth, or even connected Elsbeth to one of these other display plates, so there is some sort of fighting. Because right now, Elsbeth is just watching Ahsoka and Sabine try and attack, and it looks like they're being chained back on one of the posts. And then we do have this Night Trooper. In the fighting sequence, there was a Night Trooper that was like knocked out or otherwise against one of these pillars, so that does fit. And then we'll have Enoch watching from the other side, probably trying to get through to Thrawn. It's a really great minifigure, this Enoch, 360 printing. Again, Floney clones if you do want to buy your own. But now I think this is the ultimate display. We've got all 6 named characters and a random Night Trooper. The one minifigure we're missing is the Night Death Trooper, which there were 3 that showed up in the Ahsoka show on top of this platform, And if there's only one included in the battle pack later this year, I might have to pick up 3. If there's 2 included, I guess I pick up 2, and then I'm not sure what I'd do with the third one, but it will be interesting to see if we get any battle packs as well from Andor. We see a few of these specialized troopers, which a few of you have let me know in the comments that they are meant to be some sort of specialized Imperial crew. So that'll be interesting seeing them. But they do look almost as wrapped up and damaged as these Night Troopers, a bit less so. But I'm really intrigued to see what is next for Ahsoka and what's next for Thrawn and the galaxy at large. I hope that Star Wars save Thrawn for a big bad later on, but I'm sure he'll be showing up again soon. This set was really, really fun to build. If you are interested in this, I do recommend picking this up. If you're interested in just picking up Thrawn, definitely, like I said, or any of these minifigures, have a look if you are able to part out, sell on the pieces, sell on the figures, and you know what? I would definitely consider buying that Night Trooper as well. So I'm sure if I would, there are a load of other people. The blade as well can be sold for, I'm sure, like £1 or 2. And this play feature is going to get old really fast. I don't think this is something I'll be playing with in a month's time. Maybe I'll be rebuilding this when the battle pack comes out. But for now, I'm very happy I've built this. And the minifigures are going to make a fine addition to my collection behind me, because that is where they're going. But first, we are going to take a look. Well, first, for all of you, actually tomorrow you're going to see a brand new mock. It's hidden just behind me here. Hopefully you can't zoom in and get an early look, but I'm going to make that available to members early, and then later on this week we are going to be comparing every single Lego Star Wars doll they've ever made. Let me catch up on chat before we get to the leaks, the new releases, and other news. Darksaber blade definitely fits with the lightsabers. I think the Ninjago element was slightly too thick. Well, if Star Wars was something Kenobi saw in his dream and everyone was actually normal people, that's an interesting take. I don't know if any of you have seen Moulin Rouge, but it's a musical. It's quite a good musical, actually. But the female partner, Ewan McGregor in the movie I'm thinking of plays the man, and the female partner is actually called Satine, and it came out before Clone Wars. So I don't know if that did actually have a role to play. But like I said, we will be taking a look at some leaks. Hopefully I can sort out the chat below where Enoch stays, and Palpatine as well. We can't forget about Palpatine. I think this set was worth it just for Palpatine. Speaking of Palpatine, nothing else in the instruction book, but in April, we've got a brand new encyclopedia. I don't know why the back of the room seems so... I mean, it's probably darker than the desk, but it's not as dark as it seems on camera. It's like I'm just standing in a dark room. But in April, we're getting a new Star Wars encyclopedia, and we actually have a first look. Let me get rid of the battle bus. But we actually have, in April, you'll be 15. Oh yeah, no, I never confirmed my guess on that. I feel like I might have been close, but I also feel like I might have been a little away. So as you can see, I'm going to try not to step over. We've got brand new character encyclopedia. The minifigure included is, of course, Palpatine, a little better than the one that I've got here. Good thing you didn't see that on screen. But we've got a Palpatine. Well, we've got Palpatine early, and I don't think our Palpatine is too far away from the one in the book. I mean, there's definitely a difference. I think the similarities are in the eyes. The Lego version's a bit paler, but I think our Palpatine today is actually pretty good. Now, this is going to be a little first look, because I am intrigued into this book. The character encyclopedias always impress me a little more than the visual dictionaries. We do have the old Ahsoka. I voted for this Ahsoka on the cover, and I wondered if it would influence the minifigure included. Clearly not, but there might be some tie there. We've got a first look. We've got the first... Well, we don't have the first. We've got like 3 to 6 pages. Let me see if I can sort out chat again. I seem to have moved you all over to my blind spot. There we go. We've got 3 pages over on Amazon. 3 dual spread pages. And it's interesting giving Palpatine in the book, because the last book we got, the visual dictionary, we got a Maul celebrating 25 years, I think it was, like the Star Wars 20 years minifigures we got, but just small. That's quite interesting. Just made popcorn. Which Marvel film should you watch after the stream? Oh, that's a good question. I like the Thor series, but I know they're a bit, hit and miss with what you like. I think I want to go back and rewatch the first Avengers movie when they come back together. So I think give that a watch. We've also got a brand new Endgame set we'll be looking at in a second. So perhaps that will make you think of Endgame and Infinity War, and you might want to watch those back to back if you've got the time. But take a look at this page. We got Kenobi, we got Jar Jar Binks. I didn't see that. We've got Jar Jar. Well, we got Obi-Wan Kenobi. Padawan apprentice, very serious face. And this is the early. So this is just Padawan Kenobi. Lego character encyclopedias usually give each version a different page. So we'll get a different version for. I wonder if we'll get a different version for Clone Wars and include the Bounty Hunter costume, and then we get a different one for. I wonder how they're going to group this. If they do Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, Clone Wars, Revenge of the Sith, and then like original trilogy. And it would be interesting. This is coming out weeks before the May 4th promo gift with purchase that will probably have been leaked or announced in some aspect. So I wonder if we'll get a sneak peek at what minifigure variations. I'm going to have to pick this up day one. This comes out like April 17th. I'm going to have to pick this up day one, find my nearest WH Smiths, check it out for Lego, pick this up. I think this is already like a third off on Amazon as well here in the UK, and see if there are any hints to who the new minifigure is. But look at Jar Jar, Goofy Gungan. I'd say they've done it. Look, Bumbling Gungan as well as the first words in the giant text on the right. I'd say they've done him dirty, but they haven't. He's quite a goofy Gungan. He's our goofy Gungan, and we love him for it. There's a few facts on here as well. Protruding eyes are molded and printed. You've got the mottled skin is good for camouflage. Got some facts I wouldn't have even thought of. And then we've got some early variants as well. A nice little stat box. First set, Battle of Naboo, number of sets, pieces. That's what we're going to have to keep an eye out for. Number of sets. We're going to have a little look at number of sets and see if anyone has a set not counted for and is accidentally confirmed for later this year, because I don't know which sets will have been confirmed by the time of this book. Normally these are a bit behind, but we've also got Luke and Han. I'd love to see Han in another set soon. Luke, I feel like we got recently the diorama of the final duel. That was a pretty good one, and this is the version from that with the brand new hair piece. You can see the older one just down at the bottom though. Mind you, I would like to see, I know we've seen one of the folded over lapel. I would like to see something like that, because that's how Luke looks after the battle when he's on Endor celebrating and partying with the Ewoks. But camouflage, we need a poncho. And I don't have that Luke Skywalker in my collection. I'm missing a Luke Skywalker. That is very, I guess it's the same costume, it's just a little bit folded over. But clones. Phase 1, Rex, Cody, and Gree. We need more clones, actually. We need more Phase 1s. Rex has been ages. I have a Phase 1 Rex right down at the bottom. Don't know why I've hidden Rex away. Should probably bring them up a little bit. At least show them off next to the Phase 2 Rex. Arguably one of the most expensive Clone Trooper minifigures, that Phase 1 Rex. Cody, Gree. We haven't got those for a long time. Phase 1 clones in general, I guess, probably weren't as popular. But definitely a Pentarchy Arena with a load of Phase 1s. Obviously, we can't get any named ones. They will be plain. Technically, if we got a Pentarchy Arena, the Geonosis Arena, we could get a Rex with it. That'd be interesting. How many sets has Han been in? One. Only the Shuttle Tidarium. That's another minifigure that I'll probably have to keep an eye out. But if that would have said 2, we would have known Han would have been one of the minifigures in the May 4th gift with purchase. And the other page, of course, is for Andor. We've got Cassian. We've got Luthen. We don't seem to have the updated Cassian. Even though we've got the U-Wing leaked, we'll take a look at images in just a second. Scarif Mission. I picked up that set, and I remember the other version as well. We've got a few versions for Cassian and for Jin. No Galen's. Galen custom figure should be coming soon to this channel. I'd love to get my hands on a Galen. 2022 minifigure. Now we have a 2025, and the original minifigure was first set ambush on Ferric. So I guess it's the first set for that minifigure, but we did get the Scarif. Depends if these are and/or minifigures. Maybe we do have another few characters. Nice few facts though, and we get a look at some of the sets. Did you know? Rail square shaped blaster is carried by only a few minifigures, including Sabine Wren. Right here, you can't see it. Sabine Wren's on the desk. We took a look earlier. Also used in the botanical collection as a connector piece for flowers in succulents. Succulents gets a load of use for it. What if you get a role in Andor season 2? Well, I'm here to announce that I will be starring as a crate. I am hidden in a crate somewhere in Andor season 2. Keep your eyes out. There's a crate with what looks like an M on the side. I'm not allowed to say any more than that. I'd love to be called for a little role, something silly like that. I don't even want to show up in Papanoidia costume like George did. I just want to be hidden somewhere in the background, or have a little logo somewhere, something like that. I'd love to have that role in Star Wars, and you never know. Never say never. Maybe sometime soon. I think that's all for the character encyclopedia. Again, this is a first look. Let me know in the comments in the chat if you would like to see me go through this entire book. I am more than happy to spend the entire day going through this book, trying to pick it apart, and we're not going to do what everyone else does. We're not going to scrutinize Lego. We don't do that here on the channel. I have never said a bad word about Lego. This is part of a completion where suddenly everything flashes up negative that I've said about Lego, but I've never said anything bad about Lego, so it'd be a very short completion. And I'd be happy to just go live and take a look at this entire book, because it does look pretty fun, just like the U-Wing. There we go. I've slid it in there. So this is an image from, I don't exactly remember where this image is from anymore. This is a fairly old image. It's been out for like a week now. And this is unveiling. It looks like the back of almost 2 hours. Oh wow, 2 hours, 2 minutes. That is crazy. It looks like the back of a U-Wing. Back of an instruction manual. It is the back of a U-Wing. This live stream's been going on for 2 hours too long. That's how long this has been going. But yeah, the U-Wing does look odd from this angle. I agree. I think everyone's right to scrutinize it from this angle. I also think, what a horrible angle to show off the Lego set. I've made a fair few Lego sets. We've got the Trooper Transport most recently, and I wanted to take a back image of that. I did end up taking a front, side, and back, and I don't think I ended up posting them, so I might have to hunt down that image, because that would have been a really fun Instagram post. But taking a render from this angle, yeah, I think this set's going to have something secret that's going to make it maybe the interior is completely hollowed out, and there's even more space than the Rogue One one. But I don't think Lego have done this set justice. I do think it's a dodgy angle. It's nice to see. Oh, I forgot the name. All right, this was right at the start of the stream. There you go, Dead Ramiro. It's nice to see Dead Ramiro making it to minifigure form. I feel like that's a must minifigure. I'd have loved to have seen Krennic return as well, possibly even Galen, because of how close they were with each other. Especially, we know that from the Catalyst novel, and we get K2SO. It's assumed K2SO. I think it's safe to say it's at least a K2 droid, so that adds up to K2SO. Is this a new color? This looks very dark, and it looks almost like the black parts here on the back of the engines, not the dark bluish grey, but right at the edge of the engines, the black parts. So that'll be interesting. Chat paused. Oh, let me scroll back down. There we go. Let's free up chat again. But yes, the U-Wing is, I don't want to say it's a day one buy, and I think it might be a day one buy. If there's no other Lego Star Wars sets out, I'm slowly disappearing behind it. If there's no other Lego Star Wars sets out, and if I don't know if it will be a day one buy. It's probably an expensive model. It's rumored to be about $70. That's probably about 60 quid here in the UK. I don't know if this is a guaranteed day one buy like the Bad Batch shuttle was. Like, this really should have been Ahsoka Tano's Duel on Peridea, I'm surprised I didn't pick it up day one like the Tantive. But I don't think I can say the same about the U-Wing. If I need to spend that extra bit and can't find it anywhere else, I probably will pick it up. But we also have an image of the Shire, which is nice to be seeing. Okay, we can zoom in on the cross, but we can't zoom in on the image. So if you want to see close-ups of this, it's not a great quality image. It's straight off the LEGO events page. LEGO official images are decent quality at that. If you want a really nice LEGO image, find it on a site elsewhere that's been handed the image and has uploaded the full render, because LEGO's compression for their images online is terrible. But it does get us a decent look at the set. I wonder if it's going to be open back. I hope it will be. To celebrate, I built this micro build of the 2013 Comic-Con exclusive, which you can see it is what it is. It is Hobbiton. I can't remember what this exactly. It's in the Shire, but I can't remember exactly how it breaks down. The Baggins house, and we also get the little birthday banner. We get a little 10, and we get the cake. We get the firework. We get every little side build we could have wanted. And for that reason, the gift we purchased for this set is rumored to be a. I think it's rumored to be. Oh, it's rumored to be Smeagol, I think. I can't remember the exact scene, but it's not rumored to be going with this, which is interesting. We got the Nazgul with Peridea. What did we get with Rivendell? I don't remember what we got with Rivendell. We might not have got anything, but we probably got something relating to Rivendell if we did get something with that set. So maybe Bilbo Baggins banner, maybe that in the 10, and they look like they're material pieces. Maybe they couldn't have done that as a gift with purchase. But I think they could have given us another 10, maybe even another 10. And yeah, I can't remember what we got. Did we get anything gift with purchase wise with Rivendell? Was there anything special given in that? I'd love to see a few more gift with purchases over in Star Wars, but I think this set is all in all pretty good. We've got guaranteed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 minifigures. It's a cheaper set. Hopefully the 9 minifigures have enabled it to be a lot cheaper, because we don't have a confirmed price. We just know that this set's coming out in about a month's time, April 2025. It will be out by the 5th, which is when, at least locally, the earliest sign, I think it was even in Europe somewhere, the earliest signing for these sets is going to be. And keep an eye out on your LEGO stores for the other signings and other events relating to this. But oh look, we can zoom in. So there you go. There's a bit of a there's a better image whilst I've been talking for this long, but it looks cool. The minifigures seem to be exclusive, so they're not reusing the same ones from the last 2 sets, at least hopefully not. I don't know if Bilbo's the same from Rivendell, but I assume not, which is nice, because Peridea did have a repeat of Frodo, I believe, which isn't entirely accurate. And with the Shelob reference in Peridea, I wonder if there is going to be any sort of future reference, or even maybe a reference to the Hobbits, because this shows up there with a bunch more Hobbits. Maybe there's like this secret box, very Harry Potter style, with Diagon Alley, that you open up and it's just filled with a bunch of assembled minifigures. You know, it folds out into a table and you get the whole scene from there. But that is not the only thing. We've also got a few new LEGO sets to look at. But before we look at these LEGO sets, if you made it this far, I've finally added my instructions to my website, which is mastermoldy-shop.fourthwall.com, for anyone that is aware of it. Then good night. If that is you off, see you, Gonkrex. I hope to see you next week. As for what we're building next week, actually, I want to talk about this because I've got a mock that I'm working on that I'm hoping will be finished. So you won't see anything as far as thumbnail until like the day, if I manage to finish it, or maybe even earlier. Keep an eye out for next week. But yes, I've uploaded a few of my instructions, nothing too special, over to my website, and hopefully it makes it a bit smoother to run from there. There's been a few issues, not with Rubricable, but with my end on Rubricable, so I'm hoping to smooth those out. We've got a few new dinosaur sets that you can take a look at. The Mosasaurus looks absolutely amazing, by the way. Not much more. We've got a load of Jurassic Park sets. The yellow travel suitcase I did make a community post about, because take a look at that 2x3 printed passport tile at the bottom of your screens. How good does that look? I can almost just reach through the screen and grab it, but it does look pretty cool. I might just have to pick up this set. It's a cheap enough set. what was it, 11.99, 12.99, coming out April 1st. If I'm near a Lego store, I might have to pick that up. But everything else, including the Lego logo, are stickers, and we do get a shot of that here. The printed passport is a must pick up, and because it's in this cheaper set, are we going to get it on the Build a Minifigure station anytime soon, similar to the phones? Big element to whack on there. Got another baby dinosaur. This is my favourite of the Jurassic World sets, and funnily enough, is also the cheapest. But it's a little Raptor off-road escape, because the Raptor launches through. There we go. The Raptor launches through the trees, and I think this is a really fun play feature for Jurassic World, Jurassic Park, a lot of them. And I'm also a big fan of that Jeep. As far as other things, we got the River Steamboat. I think we've talked about that. We got the Beauty and the Beast Castle and the Endgame final battle. Did we speak about Bluey? I feel like we might have spoken about Bluey last week, but we also have some Bluey minifigures for those of you that are interested. I personally have no idea what Bluey is about. But we get a mech with Ant-Man. I actually feel like we might have spoken about this last week, but this is still a really, really cool set. And, you know, if this goes in the sale, I might be tempted to pick it up. So we've talked about the suitcase, Beauty and the Beast Castle. There we go. It looks good. And Beauty and the Beast, this is probably the only castle that I would pick up. I'm most connected, I'd say, with this movie out of them all. But something that Lego haven't been telling you about this castle that is going to be revealed for the second time here on this channel, because I guess the image is available on lego.com. If you go to the back of the box and open this in a new tab so we can zoom right in to the bottom of the box, you'll notice first off there is the wardrobe in here that is built into the castle, which is why it's not shown up in the minifigure lineup. Take a look at that next to Belle. And we have the little stall as well, which I don't think makes the minifigure lineup, with a few of the new pieces that you can use for a custom Battle Droid C-3PO. We have the Beast in human form. I guess not a load of people would recognize him, which is why Lego haven't pushed this version, but it's nice that we get the alternate. And I'm really, really hoping this is a brand new minifigure and not just replacing the head and the tails. It probably is. And, we could have zoomed in anyway. It probably is, but I really hope the Beast is hidden in the wardrobe or something silly like that. I think that would be really, really cool. And I think that is all for today's stream. So we've taken a look. Let's get one last look at the Ahsoka diorama. It don't look half bad, and I'm very, very happy to have finally picked it up. It looks really, really good on display. I might have to just move things aside to try and fit it in the background. And like I said, one of the sets that is rumored for May is Jango Fett's Slave One. This is a mock-up I did ages ago of Boba Fett's Slave One, Boba Fett's fire spray. Okay, we are speaking with the proper terms in Star Wars here. It's technically not the Slave One, and the community gets rolled up when it's called the Slave One. Honestly, Star Wars and Lego just don't seem to care, but this is recolored for Jango Slave One and slightly modified, and I think it looks cool. But the set rumored for May is a UCS version, which is even bigger than this. So I'm so excited to get official images of that. But until then, this will stay on the back. Maybe in a few weeks, we can update it. I've got a few green and blue parts since that definitely can be used and are very much needed to add to that model. But that's been all for today's stream. Thank you so much to everyone in chat for joining me as we went through. Had a lot of fun as always. And I think that's all. We did have the Funkos out, which I'm not sure you saw. Watching Avengers, that is a really good choice. I might have to do the same. I'm going to add that to my list. Scroll back through chat and check out the other Star Wars What Ifs as well. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this stream or the VOD if you're watching on demand. And may the bricks be with you always.